Welcome to the Progressive Action TV show, to another episode of Where's the Lie? Where's the Lie? Y'all know how I like to start off the show. If you just tuning in right now, make sure to like and subscribe, share out the video. Let's get that going. Look, y'all see the title of the show today. Welcome to the new New York City, the new non-livable New York City. We go get it cracking. We're going to get it cracking today for sure. There's a few things that we're going to touch on today. We're going to run it down. But I just need y'all to make sure that y'all share out the video. We got to get these numbers up. We got to continue to break in the algorithm. And it's going to be a good day, y'all. It is going to be an excellent day. Let me make sure everything is working as designed. I just want to get into the show today. I want to save all of the sharing of the show for you guys. I think you guys should be responsible. Can somebody be responsible for sharing out the show? Because I just want to get straight into this show today about what's going on. First thing I would like to touch on, for those of the people who's new to the channel, my name is Tremel Thompson. I am a labor activist. I am an MTA whistleblower. I am the transit and labor leader for New York City. So the MTA, they've been trying to fire me very aggressively for the past, I would say 2 years. No, since 2020. They've been aggressively trying to fire me since 2020. So on February 26, the MTA decided to do something called pre-disciplinary suspend me, PDS. That's when they take my train ID, my work ID, and they take my health benefits. And it's basically a precursor before you get fired. And last Thursday, I had a PDS hearing with an arbitrator. And I just got the ruling back today that the arbitrator ruled in my favor. Now, what does that mean? It means that I get my pass back, I get my health benefits, but it also sheds a light on my case to show the people that the MTA is targeting me, right? In fact, one of the discipline infractions they claimed that I made was me making a video of a coworker allegedly. It was alleged that a coworker was sexually assaulted in the train station. It came out to not be true, but I did substantiate 3 other sexual assaults in the train station. I made a video about it. And the MTA decided to want to suspend me for it, right? Fire me for it, basically. Now, they, what did they do? Oh, now, mind you, the case is, I think I made this video in 2022. They decided to try to take action on me in 2024, and it was for obvious reasons. It was because I did a show about workers' comp with a former MTA manager, exposing their workers' comp practices. And I also was given a butt kicking to Richard Davey, who I did research on him, and it came out to be found that Mr. Davey loved to attack whistleblowers. Under his leadership in Boston, the federal government was about to take $275 million away from the company if they didn't correct their discrimination practices. And, I've just been exposing things, and the MTA decided to retaliate against me and bring me up on all these charges. And basically, that saying, we go throw it against the wall just to see what stick. That's exactly what they're doing. But for right now, I have a stay of execution, if you want to call it that. I won my PDS case today. I still have to go to arbitration. I'm still facing termination, but I won this battle today. But enough of me. I want to get into the show right now. The first thing I want to touch on And like I said, the title of the show is Welcome to the New Non-Livable New York City. Crime, congestion pricing, the migrant crisis. And this is what I seen in the news today. Widow of victim in fatal subway shooting to sue MTA for $28 million over leaked scene photos, just like the Kobe Bryant case. Right? So it says the widow of a man fatally shot on a Brooklyn subway train plans to sue the MTA for allegedly leaking crime scene photos of her husband in a move similar to Vanessa Bryant suing over the helicopter crash photos of late hubby Kobe Bryant and their daughter. And I just want to bring up this excerpt from the same story. It says, when I got the death certificate, it said he died in the hospital, Dockery said. So when he was on that ground, my husband was alive. He heard what was going on around him, she said. They rendered no aid. Instead, they took a picture of him. The legal notice alleges negligence against the MTA for failing to establish a policy or procedure addressing the treatment of human remains and for failing to properly investigate and discipline employees for taking these photos and sharing them. Now, everyone knows I do not defend MTA management, but I just want to be clear, the MTA is not the only people who take pictures of crime scenes and share them to the public, to their friends, or whatever the case is. NYPD does it also. In fact, they did it to one of my good friends who was murdered in a gambling spot in Brooklyn, and 4 people was killed in the gambling spot. One of them was my friend. And the only people who had access to those bodies were NYPD, and they shared his photos along with the other deceased photos around. So I just want to be clear that the MTA is not the only one who take those pictures. So hopefully, the wife name is Jakiba Dockery, and she's suing for $28 million because of this. And I'm not saying that the MTA didn't do it or they did do it. I'm not saying that, but they don't act alone in these cases, and we must be aware of that. I do not defend the MTA. Y'all know that I put my foot in MTA behind every chance that I get, and just want them to be sure, because they should get some type of justice for it. But just to make sure all their bases is covered, NYPD take pictures also. In fact, I had NYPD investigators call me numerous times for pictures that I posted on the internet, and they was wondering where I got it from. But it had to be NYPD, and I get it from the internet. These pictures make the internet. But one thing I want to point out, because in that article she was talking about the deceased and the bodies and things of that nature. I want to show you guys this right here. The New York City subway has reportedly been using employee break rooms to store dead bodies. This is a fact. The MTA uses station cleaners' break rooms to store dead bodies, specifically speaking, bodies that have jumped in front of the train and the medical examiner take a long time to come, right? This is what they do. Now, I want to be clear about this situation, right? Because who wants a dead body stored in their break room? And the only thing that this proves is that the MTA have a lack of respect for the workforce. Why would you even allow a dead body to be inside of an employee break room? Now, we know for a fact at 2 Broadway, they wouldn't even allow a dead water bug inside of any of the employee break rooms at 2 Broadway, let alone a dead body. But it shows, like I said, very clearly, the lack of respect the MTA have for their workforce. There's absolutely no reason as to why there should be a dead body stored in an employee break room. There's no reason whatsoever. But being the fact that the only thing they really care about is service, and they just like, look, just put this body inside the break room until the coroner comes so we can keep service moving. That's what, and they don't care about the workers in the process, which is very sad. And it shows you their true colors. Now, this next topic I want to cover is about Aetna and New York Presbyterian Hospital Network and things of that nature. I've been seeing a lot of people say, yo, my coverage, this, Aetna, getting these letters from Aetna and things of that nature. And I'm quite sure this is not limited to transit workers, right? This is not limited to transit workers. This is for everyone who has Aetna. So this came out in an email recently. New York Presbyterian is currently negotiating with Aetna on a contract that would determine how they will compensate our hospitals and medical practices. The contract being negotiated for several Aetna lines of business, including commercial and Medicare Advantage health plans. If we are unable to reach an agreement by March 31st, starting April 1st, 2024, all New York Presbyterian hospitals and its clinical practices that are part of the New York Presbyterian medical groups and additional locations listed below will be considered out-of-network providers for Aetna members. And I also seen a worker post this in my group today. His name is Paul Horst. Thanks for sharing with us, Paul. FYI, apparently Aetna is in contract negotiations with many hospitals and doctors. Just had 2 places deny my wife as a new patient because of this possible negotiation not going through before April 1st. He put an edit on the post. Seems Mount Sinai doctors are good. Columbia and New York Presbyterian seem to be the hospital's doctors that are being affected. So just make sure when you're using your Aetna that be aware of where you could go and where you can't go. This is pretty crazy, for them to be playing with, our health in that form of fashion, but hopefully they come to a quick resolution and then we can move forward. Now, it's about to get a little spicy, a tiny bit spicy. We're going to talk about Local 100. We're going to talk about congestion pricing. We're going to talk about them wanting to attack Kathy Hochul. Now, I've made it clear, no union should be a part of the political tribalism that goes on. Unions should have the motto of that song. Y'all remember that song? Janet Jackson? What have you done for me lately? Ooh, 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 yeah. That's the motto that unions should have. What have you done for me lately? I don't care if you're a Republican. I don't care if you're a Democrat. I don't care if you're independent. What have you done for me and my members lately? Unfortunately, our union, Local 100, does not operate like that. They are slaves to the Democratic plantation, even though the Democrats do the bare minimum for the workforce. Let's be honest. They do the bare minimum for the workforce, right? And the fact that I call Local 100 out every chance that I get, I keep my foot in their behinds also. This is what they decided to do. They had the International Union block me on Twitter, right? Not only did the International Union block me on Twitter, John Samuelson himself has blocked me also. Right now, they so foolish. You know that it's old guys that's running this that do not understand the internet. Like when I go on Twitter from my computer, I'm not even signed in, so I could actually type up any @ and I could still see everything that's going on that page. So it's kind of ridiculous that they would want to block me. But one thing that it does show is that they are in their feelings. They are in their feelings because I've been keeping my foot in their behind for the past 8, 9, 10 years, right? Now, because of the union's administration, political tribalism, John Samuelson, Tony Utano, and Richard Davis, they make themselves look foolish. And in turn, they make us look foolish, right? And they be making these empty threats, telling the governor, if you don't do what we say, then you're going to it's going to affect you in the ballot box. Who are they fooling? Local 100 has never did a voter registration drive. Never. They can't point to one time that they have did a voter registration drive. There's 40,000 members in this union. We don't even participate in our own union elections. So what does that say about us participating in governor, mayor, and all that other stuff? We do not drive people to the ballot box. The only organization inside Local 100 who does that is Progressive Action. That is a fact, right? The only thing they do is put on the website, hey, this is the people you should vote for. Nobody look at that website. That website is a ghost town, and it has turned into an obituary website. Every other day, somebody died, or it's a party website. Oh, we're going to have this celebration here. We're going to have this game night there. They absolutely do nothing to truly organize the members. Absolutely nothing. So now with John Samuelson and Local 100 and TWU, the International Union, is deciding to do is put out hit pieces getting at Hochul. Now, do not get it twisted. Hochul she deserves hit pieces, right? She deserves it because she is no good. But the union, they are confused on what they want to do. And I'm going to explain that in a few. But this was, I ain't gonna lie, this was a clever ad. Screw you. I like the design. That's what Governor Kathy Hochul and her MTA is saying to New Yorker commuter rail workers. In an election year where the balance of power in the United States Congress is riding on New York Democrats, the highest elected Democrat in New York State has showed her true colors and launched an unprecedented economic onslaught against Metro North Railroad workers. With an extreme heavy-handed litany of contract demands, Hochul's MTA is attacking workers' pensions, health care, income, job security. Hochul is hurting real pro-worker Democrats in a crucial election year. Now, why didn't John Samuelson have that same type of energy when we were negotiating our contracts? Why wasn't Richard Davis or Tony Utano having that same type of energy when negotiating our contracts? They talking about pensions, right? Where was this energy when our pension went to tier 6? You know what John Samuelson said? John Samuelson said tier 6 is worth its weight in gold, right? When it comes to Local 100 workers, why don't they put up that same type of fight for us as they do for other parts of the agency? Why don't they do that? I mean, can it be because New York City Transit is 49% Black alone and 78% minority, when Metro North is 62% Caucasian and only about 17% Black? Could it be that? I mean, I can't point to anything else. If they saying that Metro North, I want y'all to think about this for a second. If they are saying Metro North is basically can't survive in a city in which they work, where they make an average of $10+ more almost in every title in New York City Transit. If these titles can't survive New York City, how can the titles in New York City Transit survive when we make almost $10 less than they do? Somebody please help me explain that or understand that. Somebody please help me understand that. If they cannot survive, and I want to put that back on the screen again. If they cannot survive New York City, how can the workers who work for New York City Transit survive for the same agency? How can we do that? It makes absolutely no sense. And I would love to hear what their rationale is behind it. I would love to hear that. Now, if you guys are just tuning in, I need for you guys, you see that right there. Make sure you hit the Cash App, $ Progressive Action 100. Make sure to like and share the video. We go get into the heat. We're gonna show y'all the hypocrisy of TWU Local 100. We're gonna show you their Hypocrisy. Now, they put out another ad. Now hiring, help wanted. Qualifications, don't be a hypocrite. And we're going to talk about people not being a hypocrite because Local 100 are the biggest hypocrites there is in this whole entire system, right? Don't screw MTA workers or other workers by attacking their health care, pensions, job security, and income. Value workers over Manhattan real estate moguls and big money donors. Understanding you are the boss of MTA chair Jan Oliba. He works for New York's governor, not vice versa. And it says, help wanted. The citizens of New York State urgently seek a pro-worker governor to replace epic failure Governor Kathy Hochul. If you meet these simple qualifications, work in New Yorkers need you. Now, with Local 100, what they fail to realize is that they affect every single union in New York City. When I say welcome to the Barnum and Bailey Local 100 administration show, I mean exactly that. Local 100 is responsible for this, right? Look at what they said right there. Transport Workers Union Local 100 supports congestion pricing, right? They support congestion pricing. They did not try to make allies with the FDNY. They did not try to make allies with NYPD, with the teachers, with sanitation. They did not try to make allies for anyone but themselves. They said Transport Workers Union Local 100 supports congestion pricing. How can you support something when it was going to obviously be a tax on New Yorkers, right? A lot of us, even Metro North Sanitation, NYPD, FDNY, they got residency requirements. So they have to live in New York City, right? And they struggle. And they make more money than we do on base salary alone. They struggle. Why would you be in support of a tax on all of those workers in New York City? How can you do that? You guys went back to this, screw Kathy Hochul, you know, saying that she was so detrimental to working New Yorkers. And then y'all did this, talking about now hiring, basically trolling her and saying, you know, we're going to support a new candidate. But you guys supported congestion pricing. Not only, and I want to be clear, let me bring this back on the screen. I want to be clear. Not only were you guys supporting congestion pricing, right? But just last year, this is what y'all was doing. Check it out.
Next speaker is Richard Davis, followed by Elaine Maldonado.
That's not it. Just last year, this is what they was doing. Heck of the video.
She has brought dignity back to the office of the governor, and she has brought respect back to New York from the rest of the country. As far as her appearance here tonight, I think it shows the level of respect that she has for New York City transit workers and for our union. She's a working class lady at heart from a working class family in Buffalo. There was no silver spoons on the dinner table. She was truly one of us. We are thrilled that she is here. So without further ado, I'm happy to present the governor of New York, Kathy Hochul.
Top of the morning to you. Well, it's actually afternoon. Top of the afternoon to you. I'm sure it's time for some pub grub or some nice Guinness at this point. And I had a chance to walk in here, and most people don't know I'm Irish when you're called Kathy Hochul. I remember when I was a member of Congress, and on St. Patrick's Day, there was this bus leaving the parking lot in Congress, and I'm looking like, I know all those people. Where are they going? Well, they're going to President Obama's St. Patrick's Day breakfast to honor all the Irish legislators. Like, do you know my grandparents were born in Ireland? And just because I have a different last name, so I've always had a challenge of letting people know who I am, but I'm so proud of my history, but also I'm proud to be here with all of you. I truly am, because I know what you've gone through this pandemic. I will tell you, Tony and I had many, many calls during the pandemic. I was always checking in to see how your members were doing. Truly, when people talk about the frontline workers, you were the frontline workers for the frontline workers, because they weren't getting to their jobs without all of you. So you truly are the heroes of the pandemic. And you know, you look at the wall behind us, and we think about those we lost as well, and we will never forget them. And I want to thank you for putting up that beautiful, touching memorial to 110 members of our union family who succumbed to the pandemic, and they are immortalized because of what you've done here today. So Tony, thank you for sharing that with me as well. I'm also very proud to be here, not just my friend Tony, but John Samuelson, who's been a tremendous leader for us as well. John, where's John? John, great to see you. I think, and Frank McCann, we're also honoring you. Senior Director of Organizing, Frank McCann. Pat Reynolds is here, our President of Local 1400. Constance Bradley's here. Great to see everybody. And someone I know very well, who's also a fellow Buffalo Bills fan. I see one of our fans sitting out there. Our Senator Tim Kennedy. He is. And I can tell you, I knew him since he was a little 20-something-year-old young man. He first became a county legislator, because I was there when he was sworn in. How old were you, Tim? Like 27. 27. He's an old 27. So we've worked together for a very, very long time. And to have him as the...
Y'all get the message? Y'all get the message? It was all good just a week ago. What happened, John Samuelson? What happened, Tony Utano? What happened, Richard Davis? She was just your girl during the pandemic. I mean, y'all paraded this woman around. Y'all paraded her around. I'm not done yet, though. I'm not done. How did you go from this? How did you go from this to this?
Needs today and for the next 4 years. So without further ado, I am thrilled to announce that TWU Local 100 wholeheartedly endorses Kathy Hochul for Governor of New York State.
Well, I accept the honor of being able to head into the June primary and the November election with the support of this powerful union. And I am so proud not just to have the support, but for you to also know that I will fight like hell for you every single day.
How did that happen? And they want to talk about hypocrites. They were supporting Kathy Hochul when she did absolutely nothing for us. It goes back to the song, "What have you done for me lately?" Why did y'all co-sign Kathy Hochul when she did absolutely nothing for us? This is embarrassing for you guys to be 1 minute y'all love her, next minute y'all putting this in the papers, next minute y'all doing that. Make up your mind. Make up your mind. Like, there should not be no politicians who have not done anything for us inside of our union hall. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But we got the clown show of a union administration thinking they know everything. And I made that clear years ago. Stop sucking up to Cuomo. Stop sucking up to Kathy Hochul. Y'all blindly following these union reps. Y'all see these people on TV, and then when y'all get around them, y'all turn into fanboys and fangirls, making us look bad. But I'm not done. I'm not done. How about this video?
When the governor was the lieutenant governor, we always communicated, and she's the governor now, we still communicate. But I want to say one thing special about her, that one of our people died on the tracks. She showed up to the funeral. She came, she comforted the family, and that was an important thing. Because when people, this is why I know she cares. Because when people do things like this, it's important. Also, it's very good that she's working with the mayor of New York, Eric Adams, to fight the crime in the subways and buses. We need people to work together to defeat this problem. That's right. And she's the one. Yeah. She's the one that's stepping up, she's trying to do the right thing. And we need to do the right thing, and we need to put her in office for the next 4 years. Yeah! Happy Hope.
Tony, to you and all the members of Local 100, I just come here with a heart full of gratitude to know that you, through the toughest of times, when so many people are out there zooming into life, that you showed up day after day after day during the pandemic. And you had the courage and the guts to keep this city moving. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for that.
Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. I'm grateful to you. What we're going to continue to do is to fight like hell for every one of you. Because I know how hard you're fighting for yourselves and your families. Times do get tough once in a while. But my father.
I wish I had my button that get the out of here button. What's you heard them? 4 years. They even had rhythm to it. 4 years, 4 years, 4 years. Like, yeah, how clown that is. What's wrong with y'all? And you want to know what? I get it. Y'all follow y'all union reps because y'all feel that the union reps know more about this stuff than y'all do. I get it 1,000,000,000%. I get it 1,000%. But we all adults here. We got to do our own research. We got to rely on ourselves for this information. We have to. There's no reason why these politicians should be coming into our union hall, should be coming into our workplaces, and that the red carpet is being rolled out and they did absolutely nothing for us. Do they understand how crazy it looks? How crazy, and I'm talking about in a matter of a year, less than a year. Let's be clear. In less than a year, I got to play this again. I have to play this again. Think about this. Look at this. Yo, how you go from that to this? How you go from that to this? That's all I want to know. How you go from that to this? 4 years. 4 years. Oh, Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. We are in some trying times right now. We are in some trying times right now. And it's not going to get better because they don't have the mindset. They do not have the mindset to deal with politicians. I don't know. I have no idea what are they thinking. And I'm thinking, and what I'm feeling is going back to, we have a whole bunch of union representatives who get starstruck when they get with these politicians. I'm quite sure when they take pictures with these politicians, they run home to their family. Oh, my kids, wife, husband. I was with Kathy Hochul. I was with Eric Adams. That's what it's about for them. Sad to say, because none of the moves that they make sense. Not one. Not one of the moves that they make makes sense. And it's sad for a union to get involved with something called political tribalism. And it's a term that I coined, right? Political tribalism. And what that means is that the union will go with the Democrats no matter what they do. They could give us crumbs. The union administration is going to mess with the Democrats. They're not even trying to talk to the Republicans just because they Republicans. And time again, we have seen Governor Cuomo give us crumb after crumb after crumb, and the union administration, the PAC department, give them over $300,000 of our coat money. And I think that, you know what, my next show, I'm going to have to touch on the COPE situation again, because the union love to use scare tactics. Oh, we need the COPE money to go speak to politicians. You know what they be doing? They be partying. They be partying. Guess what? Lobby Day is coming up next week, next Wednesday. Guess what your union administration going to be doing the day before? They're going to be partying. They're going to be drinking. They're going to be dancing. It's not about the business. See, they love to put up pictures on social media, on Twitter, on Facebook, and show pictures standing with politicians, but they don't show you what really goes down when they be going on these trips. I guarantee you, ask any one of your union reps. Ask any one of your union reps. What are they going? What day are they? First, ask them, what day are they going up to Albany? They not riding on the buses with you. None of the top officers are riding on the bus with you. They going up to Albany a day or two before to party. And then the day that you come up there, that Wednesday, they're going to be up there saying, oh, yeah, we there fighting. They ain't going to let you know what happened before you came up there. But this is what they do. This is what they do. So when we talk about welcome to the new non-livable New York City, Local 100 plays a role in that, because they were advocates of congestion pricing. And they will make up an excuse to say, well, it would have benefited transit workers, more service, more trains, bus redesign, and all this other stuff. The MTA didn't write y'all a blank check. In fact, the MTA don't even write y'all a check. It's because of political tribalism that they went along with that. They did not think about FDNY. They didn't think about NYPD. They did not think about sanitation, the teachers. They didn't think about anyone else but themselves. They did not even think about their own workers. They did not get us an exemption, even though we had the international president on the board for the congestion pricing. We could not even get an exemption. They didn't even negotiate it in our contract. How do they expect us to continue to work in a city in which we can't comfortably live in? The days of saying that MTA ATM is over. All because of John Samuelson, Tony Utano, and now Richard Davis. And then you have the go along, get along gang that follows and trails them. These people do not have a mind of their own. They are only focused on their release time. That is it. Let's think about this. You mean to tell me that nobody in Stand United have a difference of opinion? They don't write it on social media. They don't talk about it at the union meetings. They just go along to get along. And let me put it into further perspective. I have parents that I love, right? I love to death. I did not agree with everything that they have ever done. But if you speak to these union reps and ask them, do they agree with everything that the union administration have done? They would tell you, yes, they agree with every single thing. How you could agree with everything that they have done when you look at the record and you check their record? We had poor raises. Our health care continues to diminish. Our work rules didn't get better. Discipline increases. Workers' comp is out of control. You agree with that? Are the union reps telling me that they agree with that right there? But you could point back to your parents and say, Dag, there was things that I didn't agree that my parents did. But you agree with everything on the union side because your release time is connected to it. I mean, we are dealing with adults who is afraid to voice their opinion because they may be out of a union position in a union job. And everyone knows how Richard Davis behaves. Everyone knows he's a tyrant or a wannabe tyrant. Everyone knows that. And these grown folks that follow the union administration is scared to lift their voice. Now, you may ask them, and they say, hey, I heard Tramel say that, you guys agree with everything the union administration do. No, we don't agree. We don't agree with everything. All right, so you don't agree with everything, then how do you deal with the disagreements? Oh, we don't run to social media and, we handle things, behind closed doors and we work it out. All right, if you handle things behind closed doors and work it out, then why do we continue to get sugar, honey, iced tea on? And why do you continue to support someone who is being detrimental to the membership? See, they gonna run out of excuses over here. And you guys want to know why they do not come on the Progressive Action TV show? Y'all want to know that? And like I said, I covered this on the last show. Let's look at the horizon. Let's look at the plays of what's about to happen in New York City. The governor is giving migrants state jobs. I am not against migrants working. I'm not against that. But it's a matter of time before they start coming and taking a look at the MTA and say, wait, hold up. We can't keep employees over here. There's a revolving door of employees happening in New York City Transit. They can't maintain a decent level of workforce. So what are they going to do? They're going to eventually give migrants some of our jobs. I could see them looking at the cleaner positions, right? I could see them. They're already set up. See, we got to pay attention to the whole play. They already made it easy for migrants to get licenses. What does that mean? Bus operator jobs. See, in trains, you got to show a work history. In buses, I don't believe you have to show a work history. You have a licensed CDL, you're going to be able to drive a bus. Why isn't the union talking about this right now? What is their plan? What is their plan? Because it's a matter of time before Local 100 fall victim of part-time workers. We can't forget that's always on the table. What will be stopping migrants from filling our jobs part-time? What would be stopping them? Now, this is the effects of migrants taking our jobs or coming on as a part-time basis. Once they start filling up, once part-time come on the property, guess what's going to be directly affected? You guessed right, overtime. And let's be real, y'all could put on the front for everybody else outside of transit. But if the overtime get cut in New York City Transit, there's going to be a lot of people who's going to be affected. Let's just keep it up. Let's just keep it real. The base salary for a bus operator, I believe, is under 80,000, or maybe like around 80,000. Let's keep it 100. $80,000 is not enough to take care of a family and live in New York City today. It is not. And once they start coming for your overtime, that's when y'all going to know it's real. But by that time, it's going to be too late. It's going to be too late. We must start holding the union accountable. We have to start holding the union administration accountable. And we also have to hold ourselves accountable. We have to. And don't get it twisted. I speak to a handful of reps, right? I speak to a handful of reps. And you want to know what? They complain to me. And I'll be like, well, why are y'all complaining to me? Don't complain to me. Complain to the person who's in charge of your release time. That should be where your complaints be at. And I stopped talking to a lot of reps because of that. You have grown men and women who are afraid to voice their opinion because they're afraid to lose their release time. This is what it has come down to, people. This is a part of the non-livable New York City. And to all the other unions out there, the Local 100 administration for the past 10 years, there should be a documentary done of what not to do as a union administration. In fact, besides the UFT, and where I know that a lot of people left the UFT union because of the whole COVID stuff, Local 100 members actively talk about stop paying dues. They actively talk about that. It is on their mind. And the union administration is not doing enough to care. So we have to do things to hold them accountable. Yes, us. We have to stop contributing to COPE. And maybe we need to make our own fund in which we could contribute and give to politicians who actually support our causes. Yes, there are politicians in Albany who do support us. How do I know? I speak with them. And they should be getting bigger pockets of our money because they pushing our agendas. And in fact, within these next couple of weeks, I'm about to start interviewing some of these state assembly people and ask them straight up, where do they stand on our issues, to hold them accountable so we can know who's who and what's what. The Local 100 administration, the PAC department, they are not doing that. They are not doing that. So we must start holding everyone accountable. We have to start doing that. When you look at what's happening in New York City, the crime, you got congestion pricing coming. You got inflation. Cost of living is up. School tuition is up. Car insurance continues to go up. The fares on the buses and trains are going up. The tolls on the bridges and tunnels are continuing to go up. This city is becoming completely unlivable. And the only way for civil servants and workers to survive in the city is to have strong people leading the charge. And in our case, Local 100 is not strong enough to lead the charge, the administration. They are not strong enough to lead the charge. Where do they stand on these issues? When you are a part of a union, part of your fight may be going to the media, educating the public what's going on, but the gritty part of your fight is organizing and mobilizing. And that's something that this union administration is poor at. A union administration will never, I don't care who you are, if you don't run a tight ship in organizing and mobilizing, that ship is going to sink. The members are going to get they behinds kicked. And that's what's happening to us in real time. And people think it's a joke. If you look at my shows from 5, 6, 7 years ago, everything that I said back then has came true today. This city is completely unlivable. New York City Transit is a job right now for college students. If you have a family and you want to take care of your family, this may not be the job for you. If you want to go to school, pay for your books, and pay for yourself through college while working at the MTA, this may be the job for you. But when you're talking about raising a family, giving your kids a great education, giving them a home, this is not that job anymore. Now, we could get back to that if we actually get true fighters in. But right now, this is not what it is. This is not what it is. People don't understand how much transit workers sacrifice for this company to get the bare minimum to survive in New York City back. And guess what? Our union administration, they don't care. They don't care. You want to know why? Because their salaries are in the 6 figures. When they go out of town and go on these trips, what they spend is reimbursable. I won't even be surprised if they get a per diem. In our own union administration, we are second-class citizens. Imagine that. Imagine that. The people who work for you, because we can't get it twisted when it comes to this union stuff, they want you to think that you work for them. They work for you. Picture the people that work for you treating you as a second-class citizen. That's exactly what's happening in Local 100 right now. They are part of the reason why the subways is not safe. Because when we are getting our asses kicked out there, they not doing anything to protect us. I've been saying this for almost 10 years. We got to make allies with the riding public. If the MTA cannot protect the workers, how can they protect you? This is a fact. This is a fact. If the MTA cannot protect us, how can they protect you? Our union administration laid idle when we get assaulted. The only time they come out is when the cameras are out. The only time they make noise is when the cameras are out. All other times, oh, it's a routine thing for them. Just imagine that. There's shootings happening in our workplace. We're actually getting sliced, slashed, stabbed, black eyes. And the union administration is treating it as if it's a part of the job. It comes with the territory. Imagine that. Yes, this is what this job has come to. Congestion pricing, Local 100 co-signed that. They co-signed that. They co-signed that. They co-signed that. They co-signed a tax on the working people of New York City. They co-signed that for no real good reason. They can make whatever excuse they want. But it was for no good reason. I mean, we are in some uncharted territory right now. We really need a reality check. And to all the other unions out there, FDNY, NYPD, sanitation, UFT, whatever other nurse unions, whatever the unions you at, if y'all want to connect and really do something, you can email me at progressiveaction100@gmail.com. Because this union administration, they are not for the people. They are for themselves. They are not for the city of New York. They are for themselves. The president of Local 100 could be like the mayor from his position. Transportation is key in every city. But they are so in bed with the Democratic plantation. And not all the Democrats are bad. I'm not saying that. But when you subscribe to political tribalism, that's when it gets shady. And that's exactly what Local 100 has done under the Stand United administration, AKA Members First, AKA Management First, for the past 12 years. They have put us in a hole that I'm not sure we will be able to dig ourselves out of. Especially up under this administration. We are literally standing in quicksand right now, drowning. And the only lifeline that we have is us coming together in Local 100 and making allies with the other unions in New York City and the riders of New York City Transit. That's the only way we're going to be able to come out of this. Now, with that being said, I need for you guys to break the algorithm for me. Please like this video. Please share it. If you're watching on Twitter, please retweet it. It's very important that we do that. And also, please hit the Cash App, $ Progressive Action 100. YouTube, please make sure you hit the like button right now. Please hit those likes. I want to see those likes. On Facebook, do y'all thing. Twitter, do y'all thing. Thanks for tuning in. Share out the video. I'll catch you guys later. Peace. And like I like to say, where's the lie? Catch you guys soon.